Welcome to Designing AI-driven Personalized Learning Environments course. In this video, we'll talk about two modules of Personalized Adaptive Learning Environment, User Interface and Domain Models. The interface is the first thing the user sees. Okay, there's only thing the user sees is the interface. It is where the content has been delivered. It's very important. So the interface should be simple such that it should not add a cognitive load on the learner to understand how to use the system. Here the learner comes to the personalized learning environment to learn particular topic. We should not create a system such that the learner needs a time to understand how to use the system. That should be avoided. That is why the interface should be very simple. The interface should be very simple, should not add more cognitive load. The navigation should be self-explainable to the learners, and they should be able to understand in a very shorter time period. The learning curve should be very less. And the interface should also have the ability to receive the feedback from the learner. It's not that we support suggest some topic, we provide some lot of topics and they are not able to understand. We should be able to get the feedback from the learners, and interface should be able to collect the data from the learners for clickstream data capture. So we'll talk about the trace data for a moment. Okay. Trace data in the sense, if a student is interacting with the system for say 30 minutes, I should collect the data such that I should recreate what are the things student gone through in the 30 minutes. What are the student set of actions? What are set of students interaction with the system in the 30 minutes has been recreated by using trace data. So trace data can be this tracing the whole learning path. A simple eye gaze data. How can I collect eye gaze data? I can have sophisticated eye trackers, that is Adobe eye trackers or PeopleCode trackers attached to my system and collect it. Or I can simply use the web camera, and web camera can collect the eye gaze data. And if you collect eye gaze data for 30 minutes with the screen capture, with the OBS screen capture softwares, you will be able to understand where the learner is looking at, how well the learner is looking, how are they reading, the behaviors can be collected. Eye gaze data can be the trace data. It can be the facial expressions, that is facial expression data can be collected to understand emotions or affective states, that is also possible. The key data we are talking here is clickstream data. The learner's clicks in the learning environment should be captured. Sometimes you could capture the mouse strokes and mouse scroll movements and the keyboard strokes can be captured. But the clickstream data we mean is that all the clicks the learner perform can be captured. The clicks in the sense the students log in, the time they spent on each action, and the type of action. Now we kind of make this data storage in a particular format for clickstream. For clickstream, what we do, we have a user ID, timestamp, action, and context. We collect data in this particular format. For every click a learner does, we will store it. Timestamp can be unique timestamp or any other timestamp. Actions. Let's talk about what are actions. A learner logging in the system is an action. So we say logging in, it's an action. There's not much context. We could maybe store the session ID. A learner is reading a page can be the action. If I'm reading, I should know what kind of page I'm reading. The reading can lead to topic, which page I'm reading, what topic I'm reading. Learner can watch video. If I'm watching the video topic, title can come. Within the video, learner can do multiple actions like play the video, pause the video. They could seek the video, move to the other place. They could watch in 2x speed. They could watch with the captions. All those things can be captured in the learner's interaction clickstream. While reading also we could capture, if you have ability, they are highlighting, annotating, all those things can be captured. If they are accessing some questions, what questions they are accessing and what is the performance, everything can be captured. So that is a clickstream data. So the current interface which you create should have able to have ability to collect all the data in the clickstream and store it internally in the system that can be used later to provide a adaptive content. So that going in advance, what happens is nowadays is that we are trying to create multiple agents in the user interface. Suppose the user interface might have a avatar or agent. That agent can make a conversation with you in the voice based communication or the chat based communications. That kind of things can be happening. Also nowadays the idea is that let's give a data back to the learner. If you have performed this many topics in the fractions, or in the last 5 questions you performed 3 correct, you achieved 80% of the content, you are working on like the progress bar. Give data back to the learner, let the learner decide their own regulation, let the learner to plan, they do metacognition and self regulation. That is the idea of the open learner models. Beyond the clickstream data, we could collect the speech recognition, eye tracking, web case emotions, like I mentioned in the previous slide. So these are the recent advances in UI. So user interface also should able to allow learners to give feedback. Also, we should able to collect the trace data. So let's move on to domain module. We talk about domain module. What is domain module? Is what we want to teach. Whatever content you want to teach should be in the domain module. It should have an explicit model of domain knowledge, including the identification of areas where students might have difficulty and what action should be taken. Like we want to teach a particular topic, I know the student might have issues in these places, so I should be prepared with the remedial content for that. I should be prepared the detailed answers for that. Or if I am a teacher, I am going to the classroom, I am teaching a topic, I should know what are the questions might emerge and you should prepare answer for them, including the identification of areas where student might have a difficulty, might have a questions, and what kind of action needs to be taken also decided in the domain module. So for example, if I want to teach algebra for class 6, you could say want to teach value of multiples, one pencil will cost 3 rupees and 5 pencils will cost what price. So you could introduce the variables, then we can say the name Rama, 5 pencils more than Raju, so you could have 5 plus x. So slowly you could introduce variables, the idea, so your flow of content, everything can be written and well documented in a domain model. And now this particular activity again, I want you to pick one particular concept in a domain model of your choice. For example, algebra for class 6, or you choose any topic you are currently doing, your favorite subject, you can pick any topic. Can you think about the domain model in your own topic, and what are the things should be considered in domain model? I am not asking you to give a clear teaching material and the questions and everything. If it is a teaching material, you say teaching material. If a teaching material have a video, say teaching material video. If teaching material have some kind of a text or the graphic image, just write it image teaching material or something like that. If your teaching material or domain model contains the questions to ask, write how many questions and what are the options it will have, like how many options will have. Pause the video and write down all the content required for domain model. After writing, play the video. Thanks for writing the domain model content. You might have come up with the ideas like learning content is the video, audio, tests, or multimedia content. You might have something like assessment questions, which can be H5P based questions, or kite options, MCQs. We should have wrong options and kite options should be there. You should be also thinking about what feedback should I provide, all those details will be there. Also the remedial content or more content on the same topic, different types of content, or you could be providing this assessment of remedial contents, or you also want to do homework or the classroom activities on this. These all are valid domain model content. So these all should be part of domain model, which means a teacher should think about what topic I want to teach, what are the possible difficulties student might have. Based on that, we should have prepared the content with the assessment questions, all the options, hints provided, the remedial content, to challenging questions, all those activities should be taught well in the domain module. So as per the definition, it's not a proper definition, but as per the standard, domain model should have a mechanism to validate learners' interaction in the system with respect to the model. So, for example, in class 6 algebra, questions at each level to validate student performance. If a student can detect a confusion, then the new concept could be provided, a new content to the topic or something should be added. So, these all should be part of a domain model. So, to summarize, domain model should have what to teach, what are the difficulties student might arise, what is the actions you are taking, what are the assessments, and what are the remedial content based on the performance in the assessment. Should be written in a structured format, so that we could compare the students' actions, couple of students' actions. If we are comparing the students' interaction domain model of multiple students, should be able to provide meaningful understanding of strategy. The proper structured format is break down into a semantic network, hierarchical network, or create a concept map, or chunk down the problem into multiple small problems, arrange it in the step 1, step 2, step 3. That's what instruction structured format means. Thank you. In this video, we talked about UI and domain model. The next video will talk about learner module and page module.